We're going to start this evening, I think. We're going to start in... it's Castor's apartment in Char Hollow. And Tamer is there. Tamer has discovered that a rival of his, a man that did him wrong some time ago, is in the city and has decided that he's going to try and kill this man. This man's name is Rasmus Darva. And he has asked his friend Castor, a washed-up bounty hunter, to assist. And Castor is unsure about whether or not, or he was unsure about whether or not he was going to be able to help you out. So, we're in the apartment, in this rundown tenement building in Char Hollow. And Tamer is kind of standing there in front of Castor, who's looking very bleary-eyed still. And you've been trying to persuade him to assist you in your mission. And eventually, after he's kind of listened to your story a while, he kind of looks up at you, Tamer. He says, okay, I'm going to help you. But I'm not going to... That's on you.
I told you, I'll pull the trigger, but I'll give you the credit, the street credit, if you will.
I don't want the credit.
You don't want the credit.
No. I mean, what you're talking about, it's murder, and I don't want my name associated with it.
See, I just want Aces to know that I did that. He dared
Aces?
pull a gun on me. Yeah, Aces. He needs to see what I'm capable of, make him think about pulling a gun on me again.
He pulled a gun on you?
You know, maybe he'll be there the same day. Maybe I'll take care of two birds with one stone, so to speak.
Maybe you ought to calm down a little bit.
You're probably right. There'll be enough heat after this. But you know what? We'll do it right. We'll make sure. I mean, you know, like, we'll make sure that that nobody minds this Rasmus dying. I mean,
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
I mean, you got a serious beef against this guy. So when you finally do kill him, then what? What happens then?
That's a good question. I mean, one day I hope to get back to Severos. With him out of the way, it'll just make it that much easier.
And what about this woman?
Well, she'll be a widower. Maybe she'll be open to rekindling a relationship with me. Then I'd be a noble. I'd be on Easy Street. I'm telling you, what we had was real. Yes, everybody said it was just my youthful vigor, my good looks, and she was an older woman after all. But there was something there. I felt it.
Yeah, well, after you kill her fiance, she's probably not going to be falling into your arms. You know what I mean?
We'll figure out some way around it. Maybe we'll blame Aces on it. I mean, he would like the street cred. He's always walking around like he's some big tough guy, you know. La-di-da this and la-di-da that. I'm in charge of the gang. I'm gonna tell everybody what to do. Oh my god, I'm dealing with such incompetence all the time. Sheesh, I need another Excedrin. I mean, you know, it might be good for him. Might be very good for him if he got the rap for this. He'd be respected. He'd like that. In fact, it's my job. Since he's the boss of our gang, it's my job to elevate him wherever I can. This is going to be good. It'll be a nice surprise. It'll show him what I'm capable of, and then he'll respect me more.
Okay. Okay. Well,
You know, when you do something bad, so many good things can come of it. I'm just beginning to discover this now.
And he looks at you sadly. And he says, look around you, Tamer. Guys like us, we don't get happy endings.
Well, didn't end happily for me with Rasmus going into the picture, that's for sure. If it doesn't end happy for me with him out of the picture, well, I'm no further off worse than what I was in the first place.
Noise.
But man, you're always at my side. You've always been there for me, and I've always appreciated your good advice. So if you think this is something that we can handle, I'm going through this now with much more confidence.
Okay. Well, you just let me know when you come up with a plan. Let me know how I'm going to fit into it.
All right.
Anyway, I gotta sleep.
Okay. I'll head back to the gang and find out when our next what our next move is going to be around the tracks. I mean, I got to make sure that they're going to want to do something at the tracks at the same time that Rasmus is there for the betting. It'll be a big opportunity for us, of course, but I have so much to plan before that.
Cool.
Have a good night.
Yeah.
We'll talk soon.
And he lays back down and just pull the door to when you leave.
Yeah. I'm gonna head out. Do I notice anybody in the hallway?
That's a good point.
Hello.
Ah, well. Aggie.
Mm-hmm.
Nice to see you here.
Is it?
I appreciate having somebody watch my back for me, but I can take care of myself.
Oh, well, so if you would need a second-rate group to watch your back.
Is that not what we are? Are we first rate yet? That's what we're aspiring to be, first rate, right? We're not a first rate group.
You don't
Come
go
on.
around telling people we're second-rate.
That's Casta. He's my friend. He needed an excuse to help me.
These
You need to feel
doors are
bad for
very
me.
thin. Shall we walk?
Sure.
Walk out into the street.
Yeah, into a bustling street.
As we walk out, you're not here to stab me, are you? Kill me? Do you have a hit out on me?
No.
Oh, good.
I'm here to watch that you weren't double-crossing us.
Why would I double cross you?
Because you and Aces seem to bang heads, and you seems to, I don't know, if you've got some kind of history going on there?
I don't know, bang heads. I think Ace is just bangs. But didn't he just have one of his lieutenants kill the other lieutenants? I mean, that's his MO. That's just who he is. I've learned to accept it. You guys are great. I have a place to live. I eat. I mean, where would I be without the group? On the street somewhere on my own?
But are you
Come
here
on.
for yourself?
We're all here for ourselves and for each other. One doesn't contradict the other. We're like a family.
This time I'll take your word.
I always seen you as a younger sister. A younger, much more prettier sister.
Okay, right. Stop with the bullshit flattery, because it doesn't win you anything with me. Actions. Speak louder. You do something
Actions.
good for me or the gang, then yeah, fine.
Speaking of actions, when is going to be our next action? We're not building a reputation here by having our lieutenants kill each other. That's not giving us any more street cred.
I have no idea.
Well, let's plan something then.
What, like you told Castor that you're going to go back and make us plan something?
What I do on my own free time can only benefit the group.
I don't know. Well, I'm going home. So I'm not going to follow you anymore because for this time, I actually believe you and I'm going to tell Aces that anyway. So I'm on board now. So I'm going to head off home and I'll meet you back at the main house later, yeah?
Meet you back at the main house.
Remember, Aces does kill people, so don't stab him in the back.
I wouldn't stab anybody in the back.
Well, you need to make him
unless I'm
believe
given
that.
reason to.
Yeah, but at the moment, you went to the Bluecoats and you came out not... I mean, what happened with that? What deal did you cut? Who did you throw under the cart?
I told you. The people I threw under the cart were the people behind whoever caused that other dog to win, goddammit.
And who was that then?
That's the mystery, isn't it?
How could you throw them under? Well, you threw up a non-named person. Hi, Bluecoats. Somebody else did it, but it wasn't us. Who was it? Oh, I don't know.
I told them they have to look at what they do not see. Because it's what you do not see that's going to wind up killing you in the end. Or it's going to wind up being your downfall. How could our dog have missed? He came inside. It was so close. It was just like somebody had to jump on us. And I can't figure out who it was. But if I could send the Bluecoats to find out who that was and deal with them, so much better for us.
Why did they believe you? That's like me getting took for them for pinching something.
Because we didn't win in the end.
It's like
we didn't win in the end.
I pinched that piece of food. Who did? No, I didn't. Somebody else did, and they'll go, all right then.
Our plan failed. That's the elegance of it. You can't blame us for pulling off this great coup when we didn't pull it off, and somebody else wound up getting the fruits of their labors, and we failed.
I just don't get how the Bluecoats believed you. Oh, well, hopefully the Bluecoats are not gonna rumble us.
Look,
you remember
this is no insult, but I don't think subtlety is one of your strong points. So the fact that you don't understand how I was able to convince the Bluecoats of it doesn't mean that it wasn't done.
You do have connections in the Bluecoats as well.
Oh, well, we could chase that up, maybe.
Yeah. So that's something you could...
If you want to divert attention from yourselves, call attention to a larger threat than what you are. And right now, that's all we are, a lesser threat, a second-rate gang. That's what we are now. That's why we can operate the way we do and get away with it.
It's a persuasive argument, I think.
Oh.
You know what? I just find it all very confusing and a bit discombobulating, so I'm just going to go to my room and try and work it all out. I just want to stab a few people, and I want to get back what's mine.
If you're looking to stab somebody, I know of somebody who...
I've just heard what you were trying to plan.
Need of a stabbing.
Yeah, no. Go and find some other mug to do that for you.
But it'll be a noble effort on your part.
No.
Okay. Enough said.
And I just wander off and I go home.
Okay. So we stay with Aggie just for a little while longer as she heads back to her room that she has rented somewhere in Char Hollow. Char Hollow is it's the area where most of the labourers, the workforce, if you like, the poorer people of Doskvol live. And which is why probably Castor also has an apartment here. Aggie probably doesn't have an apartment. I think she's more likely to rent a room or something. Am I right in thinking that?
Yeah, I just rent a room. Yeah.
Okay. So when Aggie arrives back at her room, what's it like? Can you describe it to us?
It's like a dark kind of room. It's got a small kitchen area and bathroom off it, but it's like a bed sit, but a bit step up a little bit from a bed sit, but it's still really run down. It's cluttered with lots of big furniture that is kind of hard to place for the kind of the room. It shows it's from a period that is from Aggie's life, but it does not fit in Aggie's life right now. So it's big, it's old-fashioned. You can see that it's tried to be mended and restored, but crudely. Over in the far corner, there is a large, big kind of bookcase that is far too big for the room. And it's really ornate, but there's chips on it. No, chips in it, not on it. It's not like... On the shelves, there are 3 dolls. And 2 of them are intact. They're like porcelain dolls with fine clothes on.
Well, are those really creepy?
They are. They're one of those dolls. They're like creepy, fine dolls. But, 2 of them are okay. One of them is slightly broken. It's got... One of its arms is missing and a foot, and the side of the face is slightly damaged. So there's like a really ornate handkerchief sort of covering the damage, but that in itself is kind of just a little bit... To Aggie, it's just these dolls, and they're normal, but if anyone else was to walk in, it would be really strange for the persona that she gives off, and then you walk in. Yeah. It's like regal old furniture that's broken and
these creepy dolls.
Yeah, there's a few pictures sort of stacked up against a wall, a few old books and stuff like that.
Okay. I assume you have a landlady.
Yes.
Is it Mrs. Miggins?
Mrs. Miggins.
Mrs. Miggins. So there's a knock at your door.
I go to the door and I open it. Hello, Mrs. Miggins.
And she says, hello, dear. A man dropped this by for you earlier, and she hands you... it's like a brochure. Brochure.
Mm. Oh, thank you so much. We'll catch up with my rent on Friday.
Oh, of course, dear, of course. I know you're good for it.
It's as a young lady out in the world on my own. At the moment,
I know.
I do some cleaning to bide my way, and
don't you worry. Don't you worry.
There is talk of me getting a nanny job to look after young children.
Oh, that's lovely. Terrifying, but lovely.
She thinks I'm lovely.
She does, yeah. She has no idea what it is that Aggie does.
No.
In her... No, that's spare time. And she hands you this brochure.
Thank you. I might be making some food later. I'll drop you a bowl of soup down.
Surely that I should be doing that for you, she says.
No. We all give and care and make life nice round together.
She smiled, turns and walks away, looks back and gives a little wave.
I shut the door.
Brochure in your hand.
What is this brochure?
The brochure appears to be... It's like a catalogue from an auction house in Night Market called Tevilton and Sons.
Pebbleton and Sons.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's kind of been folded open onto a particular page. And you can see that a section of it has been circled pencil and underlined in heavy line. And you can see it says something about house clearing. And it mentions this mansion in 6 Towers that has recently been cleared out. But the bit that is underlined is a description of an antique doll. This is apparently in excellent condition. Definitely antique.
Oh, okay. I check all the details.
There's a little drawing that's been done of this thing. A sketch, if you like.
Okay.
And it's definitely... It's not Acarosian, and by the looks of things. And it describes how the hair being genuine human hair and the fingernails genuine human fingernails. But it's the highest quality porcelain, no blemishes, in what they believe to be its original outfit.
On the brochure, so it's a house clearance. It obviously doesn't give the address of the house. It's just like, this is going to be...
Yeah.
Okay. That's fine. Okay. So, what I'm going to do then is I'm going to quickly open the cupboard, and I've got a whole stack of tins or canisters of soup. And I'm going to go warm one up, and then I'm going to... so by the time I've done that and got my stuff ready, I'm going to go downstairs, give my lovely landlady the soup that I've just made up from for ingredients and things, and tell her that I don't think I'll be back this evening, and I am going to go towards the auction house to see if I can find any information.
Okay. So that's where we leave that scene then.
Yeah.
As Aggie leaves her the tenement house. Let us wander over to let's find out about our new character, shall we? That is joining us this evening. Oscar Morriston.
Well, he's not new. We kind of met him briefly last session, I guess.
We did meet him briefly last session. He was one of the people that had been called out by Aces for behavior that was unbecoming of the gang, apparently.
Yeah.
And two of these thugs were given an opportunity for promotion by Aces. But it did mean that one of them was not going to survive the encounter. Now, we can assume then that Oscar is the one that survived.
Yes.
I mean, where do we find Oscar? What is he up to at this moment in time? I'm putting the pressure on here, aren't I, a little bit? You get to mark stress for yourself.
Well, after the fight, which I don't fully understand how it would have happened.
Okay. I mean, we can have a think about that.
Because
it sounded like Aces had left these two men in the charge of a couple of other gang members who were in an alleyway somewhere and had given them swords each.
Yeah. I can probably imagine that they literally just picked them up, didn't know what to do with them, put them down, and just started wailing on each other. But yeah, it got pretty brutal.
Yeah.
I don't know what the after effects would be of actually killing someone in an alley.
The after effects of killing somebody in an alley would be that you would have heard, once you had delivered the killing blow, I'm assuming that you've kind of beaten this other guy's face into a bloody pulp.
Yeah.
And as you deliver that, as your last fist, kind of, you feel bone cracking under you. And you're not even sure if it's your own. Maybe it's your own knuckles. You don't know. You don't care. But you hear somewhere a bell chime in the distance. There is a ringing and a distant clamor of bell. And you know full well that this means that they are the bells from Bellwether Crematorium. And whenever a death occurs in the city, the bells of the crematorium start to ring, and a crow is immediately dispatched from the crematorium. And these crows are designed to seek out the corpse, the body of this person. And it will circle overhead, get in an ever-decreasing spiral until it locates where the actual body is. And then the spirit wardens, who are like they're like an elite ghost hunting police force, if you like, that will come remove the body and drop it into the crematorium, the electroplasmic crematorium at Bellwether.
Yeah.
Before the spirit of the dead person is released and becomes a ghost, which will then further terrorize the city.
Okay. So,
And that's the deal.
Where would they be coming from?
So they are in Charter Hall. In Charter Hall, there is that you can actually, on the map, you'll see Bellwether. In fact, let's try one of these little features here of the cinematic mode, where we can drag everyone to the on one more multiverse. Yeah. And the Bellwether Crematorium is part. It's a large area inside Charter Hall, which is like the governmental district of Doskvol. It's very. The buildings are all very officious, very imposing, very grand, stately kind of buildings. It's also the area where Charter Hall University is as well. It's the oldest part of the city. And Bellwether Crematorium is kind of like one of these big institutions there. The spirit wardens are known and feared throughout the entire city. If you are caught messing around with ghosts or making use of spirits in any particular way, whether you're spirit trafficking or using ghosts, summoning ghosts and controlling them, the spirit wardens don't take kindly to that, and they will hunt you down and destroy you.
Okay.
They are very, very tough.
Okay, so fine. So I'm guessing, like, we would have been in Char Hollow.
Char Hollow, that is correct.
You Aces, you wouldn't have took us that. How far away would you have taken us from the base?
Probably not too far.
Yes, we never really established whereabouts the lair was in Char Hollow, but
yeah, it wouldn't have been too far because obviously a load of gang people walking in a line to an area wouldn't have been great if we were going across the city, sort of thing. So
no, that's right. And you know, it's just about every piece of ground in Doskvol is controlled by one gang or another.
Okay.
So you have to kind of be careful.
No, that's fine. If it's not that far, it literally would just be as soon as the bells start, it's just drop and walk away.
Okay.
So I'm just thinking, if it's from that far, obviously the crows will come, but I should have enough time to be able to jump in the crowd and get away, kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
I just wanted to double check we weren't too close, that I had to run. which is
Not a
even
problem.
more suspicious.
And so, yeah, pretty much when the bells ring then, and so Oscar drops the sword and well, he wasn't carrying the sword, was he? He dropped it and
Drops
beat
the
this gun.
series.
Yeah. And leaves the area along with the other thugs that were kind of watching, making sure that this happened. Everybody just kind of disperses. So where does Oscar go at that moment? What's going through his head? I mean, he's just been made to kill a compatriot.
He would go back to base.
Oh, okay.
We're not that far away. There shouldn't
You're
be
not.
anybody following him. There should be nothing really.
Yep, no problem. So is Aces back at the lair of the gang, or is he out and about? What's the...
No, Aces left the two in the alleyway and then went straight back to the base.
Okay. And so perhaps, I don't know, maybe he's not that surprised when Oscar walks in. Is Oscar the one he was expecting to win? Is he the biggest brute out of the two of them? Did he not care?
I don't think he cares. What?
He was just pissed.
Yeah. And so when Oscar wanders in, and I guess you're covered in blood.
Yep.
But none of it is yours. The other guy didn't have a chance.
Yep. Like, would I'm guessing we'd have a desk somewhere with paper on or whatever.
If you say there's a desk with paper, then there is a desk
I
with...
mean, it literally could be on the wall, it could be anywhere, but it's going to be really stupid. But I'm going to grab a piece of paper and put my hand on it.
Oh.
Like,
And you leave a bloody imprint on the paper.
Basically, and just hand it to Aces.
Oh.
And just be like, so what does Captain do?
The captain reports directly to me.
Is that not what we're doing already?
Yes. Except for this time, the rest of them are going to report to you. You're now in charge of all the rabble.
I don't know if the Rovers are going to like that, but alright.
Oh, they'll like it. I'm not interested in their opinions. They will like it. Or, well, let's just say that alleyway will get full very quickly.
I don't know, they get rid of the bodies pretty quick.
They don't usually linger too long. Was it the first time you saw somebody die?
Oh. I've killed plenty. I thought that's why I'm here.
You're here because circumstance provided. You made a mistake, and an opportunity is open, and you took it without hesitation, showing your true loyalty to me. And for that, I have made you a captain. Your job is to make sure that everybody else, who I don't have to deal with on a day-to-day basis, does what they're told. And if they don't, because I'll be telling you what to tell them. And if they don't do it, then you deal with it. You're going to be my little enforcer.
Okay.
Is that a problem?
Even Aggie.
Aggie's not an enforcer. Aggie's the prosecutioner.
Yeah, it's like when you tell people what to do, even Aggie.
Do not Aggie.
Okay.
Good. Now go get yourself cleaned up. You're dripping blood all over the place.
I mean, do you have... Are we getting back to numbers, or are we just gonna leave us one short?
Well, I'm sure we can find some lowlife on the streets who needs a bit of experience. You want to deal with it, or shall I do it for you?
I think I know who we can find.
Great! Then I will leave it in your bloody capable hands.
No, they're not going to be bloody. You said clean up.
Yes, but you're still stood there.
Yeah, we're talking. All right. Boy.
Okay. So Oscar obviously has been given a task. What's Aces up to? Is Aces going to be... Does he have any plans or...
Aces has a plan.
Okay.
And he's currently studying some of the ledgers that were left over when they took over the betting stand.
Okay. All right.
And he's looking for two things. He's looking for any debts not claimed, or anyone who had a big win.
Okay.
It's not claimed. I didn't
Yeah.
think.
Yeah, as in
People
money
who have
that's
put,
owed.
that have placed a
that's
bet
owed
that
to you
they couldn't
guys now.
afford, sort of thing.
Oh no, I was thinking the other way around then.
yeah.
Yeah, no.
Not the,
He's destroying that evidence. any of that, he's like, oh, don't want that.
The debt is to us.
Yeah, the debt's owed to us.
right. Okay, well that sounds like something that Aces totally can do. He's a smart guy. He can look at numbers. He can work that kind of stuff out. And let's say then that you're going to produce a list of a number of people that are going to owe you money.
Yeah.
And we'll work out who is on that list in just a moment. Unless there's something else you want to do as well.
No, that's what he's kind of working on at the moment. Like this, he knows that this needs to be. This is like has to be done quickly, otherwise he loses the window.
Okay.
Like, because he doesn't know how old this debt is, sort of thing, and the sooner he gets on it, the more likely he'll actually get something back from it.
Got you.
And everything else is kind of taken care of at the moment.
It is. So, Tamer. Is there anything that Tamer is up to at this moment in time?
I'm going to try to find out as much information that I can about the list of nobles that are in town for the dog races. And I want to try to figure out when the dog races are going to, like, when this is going to occur. And I think I'm going to actively seek out Aces because I'm going to want to show him how valuable I am. And I'm going to let him...
You wanting to find out about the races first, or is that the information you're trying to present?
I want to inform him about them, that there are a lot of nobles coming to do big bets, because it's his contact that basically got this to happen, that somehow organized it.
Yes.
That there are people from Severos, a lot of nobles with a lot of money, coming to bet at the races for a specific event. I mean, that's what I want to find out about, and then it's going to be like, Aces, your guy did it. Your contact came through. There's going to be tons of money at the races. All these nobles are coming. It's just going to be this big event. And that's what I have to find out information about.
Okay, so
and then bring it to him.
How will Tamer go about finding this information? What's his plan? What's his modus operandi? There you go. There's a big.
Okay. Well, number one, I can. It really depends on how how information travels, but I mean, how would people
It'll travel
be
however
getting-
you want to.
Well, how would
you
people
just
be getting here from Severos? Like,
they could be traveling by ship or by train.
okay,
There's the electro train runs all over. It's got a cool name and I can't think what it is, but it runs pretty much throughout the entire continent, if you like, and beyond. So all of there are trains to Tykeros, there are trains to Skovlin, there are trains to Severos and Iruvia. It kind of encompasses the entire globe, this rail network.
I think I would probably try to find a contact or a friend or somebody who knows somebody who works on the trains, maybe one of the servers, one of the first class servers, and try to find out what the nobles were chatting about, any type of schedule, when they have tickets to arrive, when they have tickets to leave.
Are you after somebody are you after Rasmus in particular, or are you after just anybody?
At this point, I'm anybody. It doesn't have to be Rasmus, because whatever nobles came into town for, so did Rasmus. So it'll be an easier net to cast if I just find information in general about groups of nobles coming for a specific event.
Okay.
I can even find out through the finer hotels where they're staying at, how long they're booked to stay for, and again, what event is it that they came, like what they're really here for, type of thing.
Okay.
And then I can report back to Aces, and then we can turn that into an opportunity, is what I'm thinking.
All right. Yeah, that sounds like a good
I
idea.
may have another opportunity for something else, but I'm really all about the group.
Of course. I
Making
mean,
sure that
absolutely. So, I think this is probably going to be reliant on what's called a fortune roll in this regard. And normally we deal with that by using the number of dice equal to the tier of the group, of the crew. And unfortunately, you're a tier 0 crew still at this moment in time, which means you get to roll 2 dice and take the lowest
oh, good.
to see what kind of information we're going to get here.
All right.
So, what I'll do, I'm going to set this up as a fortune roll with 2 dice. So if you jump into the dice roller tab there, and if you want to roll that.
I'm wondering, okay, and this I
Unless
can't
this,
add
if you can think of
stress.
some way.
Right.
If you can think of some way, like a particular method that you're using to get this information, we may
yes.
be able to give you, or an approach. And maybe we can give you a bonus die, which will help things a little.
I think what I'm going to do is mention that somebody who runs in my circles happens to have an inn with Master Vreen.
Oh.
And whoever, if anybody can provide me with, solid information, I will owe them, so that whenever the bet is going to place or go down, I will try to get them. I will get them inside information, which could benefit them.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna give you that.
tat.
I'm gonna give you that roll, and so at the moment we have 1 dice. So let us think. If we're gonna, let's make this die roll. Let's see what comes up, because this will determine the quality of the information you get.
That's
Okay.
About what you can
We're
expect from
kind
me.
of, yeah, it looks like it's carrying on from last week. So what I'm going to say happens is that Tamer, you find yourself actually at the racetrack, at Vreen's racetrack. There is, it's quite crowded. There's a lot of people about. But you've kind of made your way across towards the office where Vreen handles the business. And you kind of, as you're about to open the door into the office, because, I mean, it makes sense to me that you maybe go and speak to Vareen about it. I mean, he's kind of friendly to the crew, and he would kind of know about the race. I mean, that's what you were asking about, right? The big race that's kind of happening. And as you put your hand on the door handle, you hear voices inside. It sounds like quite heated. And you're catching the tail end of a conversation. And it sounds like there's a very well-spoken gentleman inside. And the hairs on your back of your neck kind of go up. And you hear Kalev next to you. He kind of whines a bit soft. And you hear this man saying, "Listen, Vareen, my fiancée lost a substantial amount of money on a previous dubious investment, and I do not intend to see her humiliated in that way again. Do I make myself clear?" And you kind of hear Vareen, who's normally quite forceful in his own approach, I guess. And you hear him say, yes, he has a lot. I totally understand. Look, everything's going to go off without a hitch. Honestly, it's going to be fine. Look, I've got guys out there right now. They're painting the fences. It's going to look fantastic. Don't you? Your fiancé has nothing to worry about. There's no problem here at all. Okay? Just, everything's going to be fine. I swear the money's going to good use. It's, look, I mean, just take a look around. Take a look at everything. Look, a lick of paint in your office is not that impressive. Don't you let me down. And then you hear footsteps coming towards the door.
I'm going to scuttle into the shadows. I am not ready
No.
to. But I might use it as an opportunity to follow. So, and that's what I would have done, whether the one encompasses that activity or not.
It does not. It does not. So you now get to tell me how you follow this guy. What is it you're doing? He steps out of the office door and pulls it gently. He's dressed, he's very finely dressed, and you recognize him instantly as Rasmus Darver. He doesn't, does he notice you? This is a very good question. So how are you following him? Let's find out.
I know I have a hunt skill.
Yeah.
Which will allow me to gather information about a target's location and movements.
Yeah.
And so I would probably be using my hunt skill to either and if it's not me that follows him directly, but if it's Kalev and I have a tracker on him and I know which way, and then I can kind of go around a couple of blocks and predict which direction and head out.
Yes. No, I mean, that sounds like a decent use of that ability. Kalev is somewhat reluctant. And from the moment that you heard this guy's voice, you've noticed that Kalev is kind of whimpering and whining.
Would this be something that would be supernatural in nature?
Not necessarily. I mean, you know.
I'll whisper to Kalev. I don't know how she stands his cologne either. It's just cloying, I know. But we're gonna have our revenge.
And he just whines in response to that. And the footsteps come down the steps, the wooden stairs. And this gentleman, you see him kind of tipping. He's got a big top hat on, looking all the biz. And he's kind of tipping his hat at people as he walks past them, being very gentlemanly. And he disappears into the crowd, and you kind of watch the top hat momentarily as it kind of moves between these people. But Kalev seems reluctant. But you can certainly try and track this guy down. Now, I think this is going to be fairly controlled, this role at the moment as well. I don't think he's necessarily aware of you. So I don't think there's a massive risk to you at this moment in time. But I think the effect will be standard.
All right.
So let's have a roll from you and see where we go. I'll set that up as an action roll.
You know what? I think I can afford the stress on this. So
You want to take the stress?
I will push myself. Yeah.
The devil's bargain, if you wanted to try a devil's bargain, will be that Kalev has clearly got some history with this gent, and he's going to go missing for a little while. If you want to take that devil's bargain.
I will see your devil's bargain and raise you. What
If you got a better one, that's even better. Yeah.
What if Aces finds out that I was outside of Breen's office, snooping around?
Oh. You know what? Yours is better than mine. Do you want to
I
take
accept that devil's bargain.
Okay, you take the devil's bargain. You don't have to take the stress then. You get yourself an extra die to roll. See where we go. Yeah. You happy with that?
Yes. Nice.
Oh, nice. Good.
Worth it.
Good. Yes.
Wait, does Aces still find out?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the devil's bargain, it happens regardless of what happens.
Another row.
No, not necessarily. Well,
I have a plan.
So you are led.
Aces is already like, I need another pill. My head is killing me.
You're kind of led through the streets, following this gentleman as he makes his way through the town. He catches a cab. And you kind of make a note of the cab company, and it's basically just a big carriage being drawn along by two very, very large, powerful-looking goats with 4 horns. And these things are big. They're probably kind of shoulder to shoulder with you. These goats, they're really big. And he kind of takes off into the darkness along the fog-filled streets of Night Market. But you know the back alleys. You know your way around this town, and so maybe you're able to kind of cut through a few alleyways, keep catching sight of this cab as it's moving through the crowds and the streets, until he arrives in a rather plush area of Night Market, which is new development. A lot of the older buildings are kind of been down. Night Market has new money. All these people that are kind of setting up and taking part in these new ventures. Casinos, brothels, gambling dens. All of this, all these nightclubs, they're all part of the Night Market scene, and people are making money. And so there's this new elite who have these rather fancy new houses that are being constructed in the town, and you kind of arrive outside the gates of one of these. It's like a fairly well appointed mansion. It's not massive, but it looks like whoever owns it has money. Now, as far as you are aware, Rasmus doesn't own property here in Doskvol, so maybe he's renting it from somebody else. Sure. But there's a wall, a low wall of about 3 feet. The stone is actually quite clean. After things have been in Doskvol for a while, they tend to have soot build up all over them, and they kind of go, the white stone turns more grey and then to black. This looks fairly clean. Somebody's been taking care of it, or it's not been here that long. There's a wrought iron fence on top of this low wall that stands about 6 feet over that, with spikes along the top. It surrounds the property. And this carriage kind of draws through the gate. And there are a couple of guys on the gate as well who are dressed in a uniform. They look like, obviously, they belong to the house. And as the carriage kind of pulls up onto this driveway, which is all gravel, very, very posh. It has one of those islands in the middle of it as well, so they can pull around and then back out of the gate. And it does just that. It kind of pulls up outside the front door, the steps leading up to the main door of the house.
Like our driveway, yeah.
Like our driveway, yeah. I was just describing our house, to be fair. And the driver gets down and opens the door, steps out, and you see like a man climb out with the top. He hands some money across to the driver, who seems very pleased with what he's just received. And then this fella with the top hat climbs the steps in through the front door. What do you want to do, boy?
Well, this is going to be, I'm going to spend time now just kind of getting the lay of the land here. What are the geographical features? Look around. I'm going to be staying here. I want to know everything that I can about this house. Guard rotations, how many people inside, does he have any visitors? I'm assuming that there's, in these days, nothing like, some sort of camera or anything else that...
No, there's no camera. No.
So, so it's, at this point, it is going to be, taking stock of what's happening around here. This is my new occupation now. All my time is going to be dedicated to sneaking around this area from the outside, seeing, does he have visitors coming in? How often does he order food in? If there was food order delivery services.
I don't think so.
I am now trying to build some sort of, what are the routines?
You're profiling this place, right?
Yeah.
That's the deal here. Okay.
That's a very good way.
Perfect. So we're going to leave you there while you're doing that. I'm going to jump back to Aggie. And Aggie, what's Aggie up to?
I forgot to mention that before I left, I got changed into my best outfit that would fit in with sort of more of an upper class setting.
Oh, okay.
And then I'm going to head to the auction house. And when I get to the auction house, I'm literally going to go in with the brochure. Go in, not that brochure. Could I have that brochure? Yeah.
You can have the brochure, yeah.
Yeah, with that brochure. And do they have like a reception desk or
they would
somebody?
Have, yeah, there would be like a desk inside that's kind of covered with paperwork.
Okay. I'll go up. Oh, hello?
Oh, hello, young lady. And this gent, he's got very round glasses. Pince-nez, not glasses.
I wonder if you could assist me. I'm interested in a lot that's coming up in the auction. Do you have them on site here? Because if so, are we able to preview them?
Certainly, you can take a look at the item, of course, before you.
Right. So
the
it's
auction.
Okay, that's wonderful. And I point to the what? Well, is it here for me to have a look at?
Oh, of course, man. Which piece is it?
It's the antique porcelain doll.
You show him the
picture.
Yeah. And yeah, indeed, an exquisite piece. Are you a collector, madam?
Oh yes, I have many fine pieces. What day is the auction actually on? If you could remind me.
Yeah, he looks at a clipboard that he has on his desk, which is this paper with lots of different times for different auctions. I believe it is in 2 days, madam.
2 days, okay. Super. Do we have to book in to come to the auction?
Of course not, madam. No.
Okay. May I see it?
Please. And he leads you out to a room out the back. There are a number of cabinets that kind of line the walls. There are items that are scattered all around this place as well, kind of standing up. You can like big suits of armor and things are all standing there looking highly polished. Some of them a little bit more tarnished, a bit older. There are swords, ceremonial and old, perhaps wartime swords, perhaps stuff from the war with Scotland, the Unification War, and just items all over the place. Some of the larger furniture items are kind of in this, and this is kind of large warehouse almost. He goes to one of the cabinets. It has a number written on it in chalk, and he takes a key from his pocket.
I note the number.
The number is 27.
Okie dokie. Does he pass it me, or can I would wait for him to pass it me.
He takes a key. I mean, he pulls out of his pocket this ring of keys. And they're not like the big iron keys. These are a little less sophisticated.
That's a very big bunch of keys that you have there.
I'm afraid it's necessary for the job, madam. Some of these pieces are quite valuable.
Oh, I'm sure they are. Do you have to carry them around everywhere with you? Must be very heavy.
They're not that heavy, really, madam.
That's because you're a big, strong man.
Strong man, yes. He blushes and turns away from you, and he fumbles at the lock, obviously a little bit flustered. Opens it, and he removes a wooden box that's probably, a couple of feet long. And the wood is polished really finely. You can kind of see all these kind of lovely swirls from the wood, all polished, highly polished. It looks very expensive, and a brass clasp that kind of holds the lid on. And he flips that up, takes it over to a table in the middle of the room, and he opens it up.
Oh, before you open it, I reclasp it down. I know what I'm doing. And I lift it up underneath and see if there's any markings at the bottom of the box.
Oh, okay. You're looking for like a manufacturer's mark?
No, I'm looking to see if anyone's engraved their initials on the bottom, like A. I forgot my surname then. That's why I didn't say. I just said A.
I'm intrigued now. What is Aggie looking for?
My initials. I used to have a collection of these dolls in boxes.
This is from Aggie's past.
Yes. And when my family lost everything, I lost my dolls.
Oh,
I say
okay.
Aggie gets to decide if she sees the initials there or not.
I mean, I think you're probably right. Is this one of Aggie's dolls? Is this something that looks familiar to her?
Oh yeah. Well, I have. So I look at the bot. Yeah, but I want to see that my initials are there before I see the doll, because I don't know which doll it's going to be. I just wanted to see if it's from my collection.
Okay. So are your initials on this Is AB engraved onto this box
I
somewhere?
don't know. Is it? Do I have
You
to?
tell me.
Yes, it is.
In that case.
I go. I cover it.
It really is a beauty, isn't it, miss?
Yes, and I click the box open.
Okay, and as the lid flips back, you see there's like a red velvet lining inside. And to anybody else, probably quite disturbing, these eyes looking back up at them. And they look very realistic.
I just go, Veronica.
I beg your pardon, madam?
Oh, it's it looks like it could be named Veronica. There's a certain catalogue of old dolls, and they came from certain manufacturers, and I think this one was called Veronica, if I recall.
Oh, is that right, madam? Well, this one is Taikarosi in origin, quite old.
May I take her out?
I'm afraid we don't allow anybody to touch the doll. And he pulls on some white gloves and lifts it gently out. And this doll is in immaculate condition.
I bend over and get very close to it and sniff the hair of it.
Okay. What does the hair smell like?
It smells. It smells of lavender. And it ignites all kinds of memories. And I'll go, she's exquisite.
Was this one of Aggie's favourite?
Yes. And I look at him and I go, she's so exquisite. May I have some of those white gloves and have the privilege of taking her from your strong arms?
No, I'm afraid not, madam.
But nobody would know. It's just between me and you. I'm not going to damage her. I just need to hold her. Please? I'm going to sway you with my charms, which I don't know if I've got any.
You have no charm.
Shit.
But you're certainly welcome to try.
I have absolutely no charm. I'm going to still roll for it anyway.
Okay. So you're attempting to sway this fellow, is that right?
Yes. I'm going to put any effort into it. I'm just like trying to. I want to hold this doll.
Look, there's no real risk here. It's controlled.
Do you change it to control, or do I change it?
I control it to control.
Okay.
I mean, the effect is you're trying to.
I just want to hold it.
Yeah.
He's being a bit of a meanie.
The effect is great, and so
I am trying to be really sweet. I am putting on Aggie's sweetest, chirpiest, flirty demeanour that she can muster up.
Yeah, sure.
She's not taking out her knives or anything.
No.
That comes when she fails this roll.
Flipping egg!
I'm sorry, madam. I really, really couldn't. It's more than my job's worth.
Oh, well, I'll just have to win her.
Indeed. That's the spirit, madam.
And I just bend down and sniff her hair again.
And that smell of lavender. Even after all this time, it's still there. In fact, it's kind of permeating the box, perhaps, a little. The velvet inside.
I run my hand across the velvet inside and say, you may put her back now.
Oh, madam, please. And he closes the lid. And the brass clasp is locked in place. Well, I shall see you in 2 days then, madam.
You certainly shall, if not before.
That's a giveaway.
Foreshadowing.
And I wander out, and then I put my head down and nip back to my home and take off my fineries and put on my normal garb, and then I leg it back to the lair to speak to Aces.
Okay. Does anybody have anything that they want to do before all this occurs? Oh, Aces wants to do something. What about Oscar? Has Oscar anything?
Well, Oscar was going out finding a new recruit.
That's right. So I'll just deal with that first then. Let's go and have a look, see how we get on with that. Oscar, where does Oscar go to find a recruit? To recruit a thug, a replacement for the person that he has just beaten to death.
Well, he's gonna go visit.
Perhaps don't lead with that.
Yeah, no. Well, I mean, maybe. He's gonna go visit his vice purveyor, Moonfist.
Oh, okay.
To see what kind of people he's been seeing recently in the fighting pits, and who's doing really well. But would be interested. Well, who's in need of this kind of job, this kind of pays and stuff.
Okay, so Moonfist arranges pit fights, I believe.
Yes, in the
Iron Hook prison.
That was so close.
Of course, and which is part of Dunslow. Dunslow district is home to the absolute destitute and poor of the city, as well as being the site of the prison and labour camp that is here. It's also part of the mire, which is like a giant quarry where prisoners are kind of sent to kind of break up rocks and dig interesting things out of the mud. It's actually the families of the prisoners that kind of reside in Dunslow itself. But extreme poverty and neglect have kind of worn this whole area down, and it's now just a sodden ruin. And Moonfist operates inside the actual prison, or beneath the prison, I believe. Now, does he recruit people from the criminals inside and have them fight? Is that what he does?
I would imagine it's a bit of both. Like, it basically, from my point of view, I would see it as he recruits people that want to go and fight the prisoners.
Oh, okay. So, I mean, because the prisoners probably don't have much choice in this. I could imagine there's some kind of deal going on.
Probably.
Where prisoners are forced to basically fight while people bet on the outcome.
Yeah, obviously they're in there for whatever reason, so more than likely they will probably be better.
Well, that's just lovely. And so, Moonfist. I'm this powerful looking person. Male or female? Do we know? What does Moonfist look like? Male.
Yeah,
he's a big fella.
Yeah.
And
he's the Scotlander.
Oh, he's from Scotland. Okay. Right. So big fella with a big, bushy beard. A very scarred face. Probably fought in the Unification Wars at some point. Now, as a refugee, has come to Doskvol to kind of make a name for himself. And he has done this by arranging fights. People to fight prisoners inside or beneath Iron Hook prison. Is he a friend of yours?
He's an acquaintance.
Okay.
We're not friends, but I visit him often.
Okay.
Partake.
So when he sees you, he gives a big, toothy grin. Looking for another beating, are you, Morriston?
Not today. I'll just show my hand that's red from a fight.
Oh.
So I've already had my fill for today.
Oh. He looks a little disappointed.
But that's why I've come to have a chat.
Okay.
I wondered if you can help me. I'm in need of an good. Accomplice.
You're looking for talent.
I'm looking for good enough.
What does he want to do? He wanted to fight them?
No, well, nah. He wants to come with me, like be an enforcer. Just he can just if he takes the hits, he can give him. It doesn't need to be great. We can train him up. So to
Okay.
speak.
Right. I want a fortune roll, I think, on this one to see what kind of person we get.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. So whoever this person is not going to be great.
Yeah, I figured as much. But
Because of course we are tier 0. We're rolling on your tier again. And as tier 0, these are people that, the kind of people that want to join your crew. Are going to be up and coming.
yeah,
But you're up and coming as a crew yourselves. You're not. You don't have that much of a reputation. So, I guess they are. They're not going to be at the top of their game necessarily yet. Still learning. So let's find out how we do. We're going to have 2 dice. We're going to take the lowest.
okay.
But I'm going to let you make that roll. All right.
Wow.
Okay. So you're in luck, Moonfist says. You're in luck. I've know somebody who might be just right for you. And he gives you a bit of paper. He writes down a name and address on this little bit of paper. And he says, you're very fortunate. He was just talking the other day about how he wanted to make his mark. Actually, let's not say it's a he. Let's say it's a she.
Have you seen him in action?
I've seen her in action. Give you a run for your money, I'll tell you.
Ah.
But, you know, that's not saying a lot, I suppose, is it? He smiles. Anyway, you ought to go and give them have a word with them. Let's see what you think. Because I think they're going to be just the person you're looking for.
Okay. Well, we'll come back
Yeah.
soon.
Oh, I'm counting on it. I know you. I know you, Oscar.
Yeah, so
And-
so you give me the address or just the name?
It's name and address
Name and address. Okay.
of somebody, yeah.
Okay.
Actually, probably in the Dunslow area, so it wouldn't be too far.
Yeah, I'll go and find them.
All right. And I'm going to jump over to Aces while you're doing that. Because Aces has a plan. Or something he wants to do anyway.
Yeah, this is aside to his current attempts of a plan.
Yeah.
This is a side plan that Aces is beginning.
Plan. All right.
Aces has gone to go meet with Nerix, who is one of his friends, but you know, they're not friendly. Like, you know, they're neutral. But she's a sex worker.
Oh, okay. Nyrix. Yeah. Okay. So let's do that then. Where do you meet Nyrix?
I would say that she probably hangs out in Charter Hall.
Oh, Swanky. She's a sex worker, an upmarket sex worker, I guess, playing on the officials and the people that run the city.
She is.
Okay, well let's go there then. Go there. I'm going to take everybody there with us for this one, just because we're all going for a look. Hall. And perhaps before we do this, we should take a little break. We find ourselves in Giant Park in Charter Hall. This is a very exclusive area, and Giant Park is named after an alchemist who discovered a way to make plants grow without sunlight and without the lamp that you find on the Radiant farms down in Baroque. However, the drawback is all of these plants are toxic and very dangerous and should never ever be touched. Fortunately, we find Aces and his contact, Nirix, walking a path through the park. Do we not?
We do.
Now, is this a place that Nirix frequents and you just happen to know where she is, or have you summoned her here?
No, I am aware that she frequents here, and I have by chance come across her.
Okay.
Good evening, Nirix.
Aces? Well, it has been a while.
Too long, I think. Too long. My, you are ravishing today.
Oh. Smooth talker, you?
I know better. On the prowl as usual, I take it.
She looks mock offended.
Oh, I apologize. Only in jest, you know. Your work is legendary. I heard they've stopped paying you in diamonds, though.
Is that right? Did they ever pay me in diamonds, Aces?
Well,
Did you ever pay me in diamonds?
not the ones that people would value, I suppose. You're too good for my tricks, though, aren't you?
I like to think so. So, business or pleasure?
Business, I'm afraid. Pleasure, another time.
She looks a little wistful.
I do
Really, it's
apologize.
always business, isn't it?
It's business that keeps me away from you. You're too tempting. You know every crook and person in this city. I need to speak with him again, though.
Him? Basho?
No, not him.
I'd say he'd be very willing to speak to you.
I know. I've heard he's looking for me still. But not too far away from him. I need to speak with the Pyro.
The Pyro?
I have another blaze that needs arranging.
It's a little crude, for you, isn't it? I thought we were past this.
Yes, but needs must, and I need his skills. And I know it's not always worked out quite the way I intended, but this time it's a small job. A small nuisance that has creeped up. Very recently, I just need a tiny flame, if anything.
Mm-hmm.
I know the last time it was quite severe, and well, that caused a lot of heat and attention from the wrong people, but this time...
Fires have a tendency to do that.
Evidently. But I assure you, this one will not be in my grand plan. Just a small nuisance that I need to take care of.
Okay. So, in this instance, do you need from Nyrix the name and address of this particular person, or are you...
She will set up a meet.
Okay. With the pyro.
Yes.
Okay. And this is somebody that you have used in the past, it sounds. Excellent. I mean, that shouldn't be too difficult, I wouldn't have thought. When do you want the meeting, she asked.
Tomorrow night.
And where?
Tomorrow night at my local pub. The usual place.
All right. All right, we can do that. I mean, I don't know what's in it for me, Aces. Any suggestions? I mean, I've got time.
What do you know about a new drug that's coming into the city?
This will be a fortune roll. See what it is that she actually knows, I think.
Mm-hmm.
She's pretty good. She knows a lot of people, so it doesn't say what tier she is. I think we're going to use 2 dice for this. Be a fortune. Nice. You go right ahead and you can roll that. She says, it's Aruvian. I heard that the red sashes were putting it out. Some new product that they've, I don't know, smuggled in or come up with.
Yes.
They're keeping things fairly close to their chest. What's the deal? Are you thinking of getting in on that?
Well, I anticipate my hand reaching some shortly, and I intend to ensure my supply, if it's any good, is connected as quickly as possible.
You'll need to speak to Mylera Clev for that. She's the leader of the Red Sashes, you would know, in Crow's Foot.
Yes. I was hoping to kind of avoid her, but...
Well, I mean... Can't be all bad. I mean, you're both not on the best of terms with Basho Baz.
I quite honestly think it's his own issue at this point. I honestly don't understand his issues. Anyway...
You robbed him, Aces. People tend to take these things a little personally.
That is a very, very oversimplification of what actually happened.
Well, he's a simple man.
Well, that's very true, yes. Look, if you connect me with the pyro again, I will make it worth your while, and I will make sure you get a nice little welcome kit of this new drug. I'm sure your clientele will be all for it. And I have never had an outstanding debt with you.
That is true. That is true. All right. Anyway, I'll set up the meeting, and you can maybe think of a way to pay me back.
There are ways I'd like to pay you back, but you don't take that credit anymore.
You do. Remember, you will owe me, right?
Yes. I'm aware. Maybe I will come visit you soon for less than business.
Oh.
For old time's sake.
Promises.
I look forward to seeing you again. If you do meet Bazo, give him my best, will you? Tell him I'm ready for water under the bridge.
Not so sure that it's water under the bridge that he wants to see. But I'll tell him. If I see him.
Appreciate it. Till the next night.
And she saunters off, finds a group of young-looking officials who are making the day of it in the park, or at least on their lunch break or something, and begins to chat with them while you slip away. Where are you heading? Are you heading back to your lair?
I will be heading back to the lair, yes.
Excellent. Tamer, what was your plan again? Where were you heading? You were looking for something, weren't you? You were scoping out the house. So you've got this information after you've watched it for some hours. You wanted to go and speak to Aces, or did you want to gather some more information?
I think I'd probably go back to Casta and find out if he still had contacts in the, I won't say horse and carriage business, because it's a goats and carriage business, isn't it?
It is.
So if he has contacts with goats and carriage, because as a bounty hunter, he's set up things like this before. So probably speak to him before heading on to Aces. But remember, my devil's bargain was he found out first that I was there. That's a good
point. So that is a good point. So I guess at some point then,
confront me about that first is the...
At some point then, Aces, as you're making your way back to the lair, you'll have bumped into somebody you recognize who works at Vreen's hound races.
Mm-hmm.
And he kind of starts making small talk with you. You made a little bit of money then, I hear. And he smiles. He knows that there's a little bit of a scandal, if you like, going around.
That's usually how bookies go.
No, but kind of brazen, wasn't it?
What was brazen?
Oh, yeah, you know. Anyway, that fella of yours, the one with the dog. Saw him over at the hand racing this morning, actually. I'm surprised that you dare show your faces there for a while, to be honest. But
My dear fellow, I have no idea what you're talking about, but whatever the point is you're making, will you rush to it? Because I have a lot of work to do this evening.
Oh, he was on his way up. Oh, he was on his way up to Vreen's. He was speaking to... It was going to... I figured you probably sent him.
Why are you bringing this information to me?
You're walking the streets, he's just bumped into you. He's just making small talk.
You sought me out, did you? To tell me this?
No. No. I just thought friendly face. We're just walking the same direction. I thought I'd make a conversation with you.
I look around. Is there anyone else?
There's
around?
lots of people. Lots of people around.
My dear fellow, I do believe you may have me mistaken. And you may have mistaken my company. I don't know anything about a man with a dog. And I definitely don't know anything about anything with the races other than me running my stall and taking the bets like any other vendor there.
Oh. My mistake.
Seems to me that a person at a dog races with a dog would probably want to speak with Mr. Vreen, seeing as he runs most of it. It's not really interesting or fascinating news now, is it?
No. No, I suppose not. Anyway. He did leave rather sharpish. Some rich fella he was following, I think. Oh, he's probably going to knock him off or something, you know what I mean? Anyway.
He sounds like the sort, yes.
I have to go this way now.
I didn't catch your
Pleasure
name.
talking to you. Anyway. I'll, bye.
Aces slips the dagger back into its full sheath that he had half drawn.
All right.
He takes a quick look around to see if anyone's watching him, and then attempts to lose, just in case, would try and lose anybody who may be watching him into the crowd and disappear.
All right. Okay. That's easy to do. There's plenty of people about here at the moment. And when you get back to the lair, I think we find Aggie waiting for you. But before we do that, Oscar. What's Oscar up?
I went to go and find my new acquaintance.
Yes, there's somebody in Dunslow. In the labour camp. This is a very, very poverty-ridden area. There are no roads, like the cobbled roads that you would find in most of the other city parts of the city. This is just mud, and it's kind of churned up by the goats' hooves, and the wooden carts that have been bringing materials to and from the mire, and perhaps carrying goods into Iron Hook prison, food and things for the prisoners there. It is very dark. There's very little lighting here. A few lamps kind of scattered around. You don't have the electroplasmic lighting in this part of the district. You just have oil lamps that kind of this foul-smelling oil inside. And that drifts around in the light mist and fog that is floating around this area as well. All these areas, the housing in this area is basically wooden shacks. There's nothing higher than 2 stories here in this part of the district, and everything is incredibly run down. There's no real windows as such. They're just openings with shutters that perhaps somebody will throw open periodically and pour something foul-smelling out into the street. Mixes it with the mud.
Yeah.
But you have an address?
Yeah. I'm literally just gonna head straight there. And knock on the door.
Yeah. And the door swings open. There is a short fella. No, lady, wasn't it? We said. That's kind of very broad-shouldered. Hair is cut very short. And she has a stern look on your face, but, you know, got lines on it. She's seen either she's had a tough life or she's perhaps approaching middle age.
Okay. What was the name?
The name? Let us find out what the name is. Fella, Merriweather. Thanks to Zach.Zone for the random name generator.
Fella Merriweather.
Yeah. Fela.
Okay. So as soon as the door opens, I'm like, are you fella?
Who are you? I don't know. Either way.
So I'm Oscar. Moonfist. Give me your address. I'm looking for some accomplices. Acquaintances.
Oh.
Not the dodgy word, whichever one it is.
You're looking for, yeah, talent.
Yeah.
Okay. And what, he gave you my name, did he?
Yeah, you said you were looking to make a name for yourself. Are you not?
She looks around. Do you want to step in a minute?
Okay. Yeah, so I'll follow her in.
Yeah. The room is very basic. There's a table with a couple of chairs around it. Very old, scratched and worn. There's a bowl which has got some tepid water in it that's kind of sat on a unit at the side of the property. There's a bed over in the corner. It's narrow, not been made. The sheets are, well, soiled with blood. So some yellowish stains on the sheets there that you can see as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's a normal thing.
Yeah.
If
Yeah,
you're
it's
in the
not necessarily
hospital,
She says, you want some tea? I was just making some.
Nah, I'm fine, thanks.
She takes a cup and pours out something. Seems to be a little bit lumpy. She swirls it around in the tepid water a bit. And then starts making some tea in it. So, who the fuck are you then?
I'm Oscar.
Oscar, who the hell's... Well, that could be any fucker, couldn't it? Who's Oscar? I know who the fuck you are. What do you want? Looking for...
I'm looking for talent.
What?
A new position has opened up within our...
And who's that? Who's that? Who is this organisation? Whatever it is.
We're up and coming. We're up and coming to the scene. We're the ones that just taken over one of the bookies down in Newmarket.
Oh, I heard about that.
Yeah, that's us. We've took it over. We did a good shout with the first race. We're looking to do even better than the next one.
All right.
But we need people.
Right. What do you do with this organisation then? Recruitment, is it? Is that your job?
I'm the captain.
Captain?
And he will actively stand up proud, like straight and like, I'm the captain.
Oh. Cool, get you.
We're expanding. We're improving.
All right. So I assume there's a wage with this.
Insert previous discussion with Aces here.
There would be. I mean, you don't have to talk about.
That's,
yeah, it's not going to be in coin. It will be.
Yeah. Now, there's compensation. You do well, you get good.
All right. You perhaps have a little conversation about the kind of work you would be expected to do. I don't expect you to know that as a player, necessarily. Kill things, smash things up, hurt people, bully people.
We do not explain about the fight each other to the death thing.
Yeah, that's probably. She finishes her tea. Suppose there'll be some kind of trial period, will there?
Yeah, don't die. Stay there. You good? You die, trial ends.
Well, fairly simple terms.
Yeah. No need to complicate things. The way we do things.
I think you can reach an agreement with her without having to make any kind of roll here. I don't think that would be necessary. So she agrees to sign on.
Nice.
Is there anything else that you would like to do? Or mention?
I think the only thing I would mention is as we were talking, it would have probably would have brought up is that you join with us, you are with us. Like,
Okay.
This is the group. This is it. Like the rest of us, we all have some reason to be loyal. It's been a while since we recruited outside, so if you are not loyal, you are not part of the group. That means you failed your trial. We clear?
I think so.
Okay.
You know, if you're paying, I'm loyal. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Fair as deal as any.
Cool. Easy enough.
Yeah, so I'll give her the details of where to meet if she's not coming now.
Yep.
So I'll meet her in an alley close by.
Yep. And perhaps
to
introduce her to.
Yeah, because I'll go back obviously to explain it to Aces before actually just bringing this stranger.
Yeah. Nice one.
You know. So
Cool.
use canon.
Yes. It's any of those.
Yeah.
So, Aggie is headed back to the lair. Ace back at Tamer. Are you heading back to the lair?
Yeah, you could say that I'm heading back to the lake.
Excellent. So, let's have you all arrive at the same time, roughly. Because convenient.
Who arrives first? Should we roll?
Nah,
Oh.
I don't care.
I'm in my normal clothes now. I'll walk in.
There's no
I
one
could
there.
roll, but I don't have a lot of space here.
Aggie's the first to arrive.
Yes.
Aces! I need favour. I don't ask for a lot, but
Am I supposed to enter at some point, or have you not realised that you're the only one in the room?
Oh, I thought you were there, you knobber.
I said you're the first to arrive. We're all.
Oh, I thought you were there. Oh,
I'm just going to assume, yeah, we could just assume you're all goddamn there. I don't give a shit who got there first. I don't care, frankly.
He says, you knob.
Yes, Aggie.
I've got a really good plan that could make us a mint.
Where have you been?
Right, you know down the road, you know that auction house?
What have you seen again?
Yeah, it's, there's something in there that I really want. You know the last time we did it and I got what I wanted?
Yes.
There's another one. There's another one there, but it's full of like really cool things. Like there's some really cool swords and really expensive stuff. And we've got 2 days.
What's the estimate on this item?
There's no estimate on something that I love.
I'm pretty certain the auctioneer would have put an estimate on it.
Oh, I didn't look because I don't care because we're just going to rob it.
It's still up the brochure.
No, are
Oh,
we
yeah, I got the
bookies
brochure.
now or fences? I thought we're concentrating on the bookie business. We gotta fix bets. We gotta get into the races. We're not petty criminals for thieving.
We've got a quick job here, in, out, nick anything you want. I get the thing I want. It will be in and out. Nobody will know. Then we can get on with your betting stuff.
How long before the big race?
Ooh, that's a good point. I think now we in Doskvol is actually 10 days,
Oh.
and a month is 6 weeks. The race is in 10 days. A
And
week's
the
time.
auction is in 2 days.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So wait,
but
you're saying that there's a lot of antique stuff here? The type of
Loads.
thing nobles might be interested in?
Loads.
Aggie,
Oh, wait.
The last time you made us rob the auction house, the item that you wanted, we literally could have bought with the money in my pocket.
No, this, look, I show him and I show it to him and go, this is really old, this one. And it's mine. It's got my initials on and everything. I'm not paying for it. We're just going to go and rob it like I was robbed. Like my family was robbed. Everything was robbed from me and I'm going to get it back. I don't ask for a lot. I kill things. I stab things. I do all this stuff. I just want us to go in, rob it. You can take whatever you want. I get what I want.
Do you know who's registered at the auction?
Huh?
There's an auction happening, and there are quite a lot of nobles that have come from all around the place.
Oh, we can
I'm
go
just
and visit it on the auction day if you want, which is
wondering.
in 2 days. But we're gonna rob it first before the auction.
Well, if we're gonna rob it first, how will there be an auction? You don't think the auction house will notice that all the stuff they're auctioning off
Well, we'll leave
is
some
gone?
stuff.
What
We'll
are they gonna
take-
do? They're gonna bring empty tables to the auction?
Well-
You're bidding on item number 73 that used to be
okay,
here.
then we go
it was a
in-
lovely glove worn by Michael Jackson. I mean, what's gonna happen?
We're gonna go and just rob a few things then. Look, Tamara, if you don't
Yeah,
want to
so-
help, that's fine. If you don't want to help, because our second rate,
I'm
you know,
just thinking where the greatest good could come of this.
I get something that I want.
Aggie, did you just say we're second rate?
Oh yeah, there's a reputation going around that we're a second rate.
If I find out who's spreading that
shocked.
reputation, I will kill
Who
them.
would say that?
Anyway,
Shameful.
so Tamara, are you going to help me do this?
Yes, I think definitely. You know, I always have the back of my friends and fellow compatriots here. If you say, and a wrong was done, and I mean, who wasn't wronged? Who hasn't had something stolen from them and wants that same thing returned to them without having to pay for it?
Yes.
You have my lockpicks.
Thank you. I mean, we can go and rob other stuff if you want, but if you want to just
Aggie, we'll do it.
We might need to take more than the thing that I want, because I did go in to look at it.
Well, Aggie,
Speak to the guy.
if we
So
only...
just that goes missing, it might be a bit obvious.
Aggie, how many times have I told you not to do that?
Yeah, but I had to go and check. It's Veronica.
Yes, but
but you were in disguise, right, Aggie? You were wearing, some sort of disguise. Your face was different, right, when you went in? Of course. No reason to worry, Aces. Of course she was disguised. She couldn't be recognized. She'd never be able to pick out of a lineup.
I just wore my posh frock.
Aggie, if we're going to do this, we need a list of what we're aiming for. We need to make sure.
Oh, I'll give him the brochure.
Yeah, there's a catalogue right here.
There you go. It's like pick and mix. You can just pick what you want. We'll go in.
Great.
You say what you want.
I will peruse this, work out what we need to steal to make this worthwhile. We need a plan put in place. We need to know the entries again. They may have tightened up security since last time. And
But they didn't the first time, and then when we went back the second time, it was just as easy. So I bet we'll just walk in and out again like normal.
Aggie, we do not take these things for chance. We plan.
Okay. All right, I'll go and scout it out.
Good.
I got us a new recruit.
Great.
That might make an interesting test for them. Cause some sort of distraction.
Oscar, I want you to look into who is going around spreading rumors about us being a second-rate gang. I'm not having that on our turf.
Agreed.
Okay.
And anyone who is, I want them brought to me, and I will deal with them personally. I'm not having this sort of rumor going around right now.
Personally, like he did with the gang leaders.
Oh God, no! That was too easy. Someone spreading rumors like that, I have a slow poison that will take them days to die from that I'd throw down their throat.
Too bad our poisoner isn't around to give it to you, but interesting.
That's cool then. Well, I'll go and scout and get some information about that. So,
And how old was that sword you said?
it was very old.
Was it the type maybe a horse rider might have, or
like a saber?
I show him the brochure and go, it was that one.
I'm looking for anything that might have come from Severos, or that would be expensive and interesting to somebody from Severos.
Yeah. I'm going to let you come up with something for that.
And I just demanded it. Aces?
Yeah.
Is Oscar in here?
Oscar is now a captain. He's been promoted. He's shown his loyalty. And I need someone to handle the minions. And when I say handle, I don't mean kill. That will still be your duty, don't worry, my dear. I just need someone to make sure they're in line, because standards have been slipping. Apparently, we're now a second-rate gang.
Yeah, but Oscar, you get a little bit stupid sometimes.
But I'm a captain now.
I'm sorry,
Right.
who has just been to an auction and spent most of it ogling the item that we intend to steal?
You gotta make sure.
One of the
I
many
gotta make
items.
sure it was the one that it was mine. I'm not gonna steal. Well, actually, I would steal one if it wasn't mine, but I needed to make sure it was mine.
That was very astute of Aggie. She went in, she cased the joint, she brought back actionable intelligence. She is to be commended for her excellent group.
What have
I
you
just
been
slipped up
doing
by flirting
today?
with the guy.
What have you been doing today?
Well, I
I've
followed
been
him
with
like you
Costa.
asked me.
Costa needed me again. I take care of him.
I assume, Aggie, seeing as you're blurting out that I asked you to follow him, that he found out that you
Oh
followed
no, I let him
him.
know I was following him.
We're all part of the same
Right.
group. I have no problem with you following me. My life is an open book to you guys.
I listened
That's what
in to a
trust is.
conversation.
Okay.
Anyway, he's just trying to kill some noble guy anyway. Someone's really pissed him off somehow.
Okay, well, that you didn't have to tell them, Aggie. I thought you'd be nicer to me and keep
Oh
that
no, but
to
we
yourself.
don't mind killing because that's what we do.
I know, but I don't want anybody to hold it over my head or think that.
Yeah, but if you're prepared to rob for me, I'll help you with the killing. Oh, actually, I won't do the killing, but I will help you in the planning of the killing.
Look, Aces, if you gotta know, I'm not a lone wolf. I'm not going off on my own. But I got stuff that could seriously help you. I've got dirt on Vreen. I promise you, better dirt than you got on him. It could give you leverage. And I also have dirt on nobles from Stavros that are here now. Something big is going down. And if we can be a part of it, whoever is saying that we're second rate, obviously we will show them to be completely wrong. Something big is happening, and Vreen is in trouble.
All great, but to the sound of my ear, but did you actually look into who may have sabotaged the races at the same time we did, or did that slip your mind?
Oh yeah, he told the blue coats who it was.
So, Vreen owes a lot of money to a Savarosi noble, Lady Tazi, who I know personally. Rasmus Dava, her emissary, fiance, so to speak, and I'm like dripping with like hatred when I said it. Rasmus Stavra, he's applying a lot of pressure to Vreen. Vreen owes a lot of money, and he's basically trying to put lipstick on a pig by painting his fences white. The nobles aren't very happy. They don't feel they're going to get their money back. He's under pressure to perform and to pay back the money. So either A, you take care of Rasmus to take care of Vreen's debt, then Vreen owes you forever. Or we go to Rasmus through my connection with Lady Tazi and tell her that we could do a lot better with her funding than has Master Vreen. Either way, it's your choice. You're the boss. But we win. Because we know that there is another group trying to do exactly that. And that group is the one that made their dog win and ours lose.
Mama, I don't mean to burst the bubble, but if Vreen is being pressured on the debt he owes, that isn't great news for us, because we owe a debt to him.
Yeah, but if we get rid of that debt, he'll be our friends and he might forget the money we owe him.
If we get rid of who he owes the money to, his debt is forgiven. His life goes easy. All because
So
of you.
So you know fully who the debt is owed to and where he is.
100%.
And who is he? You said his name, but who is he? Who's he with? What gangs are we going to step on the toes of here?
Well, not to throw around a term too loosely, but I know him. He was a second-rate criminal in Savros prior to him sinking his clutches into Lady Tazi. He became enamored with her. I have a letter in my possession, penned by Rasmus, threatening my life. And that's why I'm here today. I had to flee Stavros.
Ooh. Okay.
Now, we might be able to kill two birds with one stone. If we could somehow convince Lady Stasi that Vreen has already paid back all the money owed to her and gave it to Rasmus, and Rasmus absconded with it. If we could procure some sort of evidence to this effect, then we have eliminated Master Vreen's debt to Lady Tazi, and we've also gotten rid of a pesky noble who is nothing more than a second-rate criminal who has harmed me personally. With these letters that I have penned by Rasmus, I'm sure we could find somebody to forge a letter in his penmanship that gets back to Lady Tazi.
And I think the other thing that you're noticing as Tomer is telling this story is that every time that Rasmus's name is mentioned, you hear a little whimpering from Kalev.
He may have violated Kalev, I believe.
We have three.
Dead man.
We have.
Not in the biblical sense.
No, of course not.
We have three big plans then. We have the auction in 2 days. We have the grand race in 10, which I have my own plan for. And now we have this plan to eradicate the debt for Mr. Vreen, which sounds very tempting and would be very beneficial. However, helping Mr. Vreen will definitely take more than 2 days. Which means I think we need to focus on the auction. Then we will give full attention to you, Tomer. And we will see what we can do for Mr. Vreen. Unless you have a plan ready to go now we can put in place, we will need to scout this rich person, this high-end man, make sure that we have a way to get to him. High-end men tend to have high-end security.
It seems that the house that he's located at now, and I'll provide the address in case we could find out information about who owns it. The guards don't look... They look local to the house. They had the same livery as was on the fence. It is specialized, and I'm wondering who in this city he had either rented it out or who had offered him the place and the protection while he was here.
We need to look into it more. However, all of these three big plans are going to need some capital. We're going to need some power. We're going to need some knowledge. I have spent my day looking through some of the ledgers we acquired, and there's a bit of outstanding debt that could be claimed, which would help fund some of these events. I suggest we get to work scouting the areas, getting the intel, and collecting some of these debts in. And hopefully we may even be able to pull off all three.
Nice. Okay. This seems like a reasonable place to end this session. So we can look at perhaps kicking off a score next week. Is it next week? Or is it the week off? I can't remember.
Next
Or is it
week.
next
Probably.
week? Yeah. Yeah, we'll see where we go from there. Well, whichever plan you guys decide to follow. We have a list of names now of people that owe money to the crew. We have an auction house that you could potentially knock over to raise some money. You have a noble of some description that needs to be removed in order to help your friend Master Vreen. And we shall find out next week which of those we're going to do first. But we're going to quickly do the end of session XP, if that's all right. We're going to ask you some silly questions, unless there's something you want to do first there, Jay.
I just want to say what we won't find out next week was who is spreading these nasty rumors that we're a second-rate group.
Oh, I don't know. Aces might make that his priority.
I'm sure it's nothing. Yeah, people say things like that all the time.
Yeah.
Jealous people. Obviously
I know.
jealous people.
Level up then.
Let's have a look and see who's gonna go first. Let's go with Aces because you're at the top of the list there, mate.
Hey, I'm the first for something.
Yeah. Wait, your playbook. There we go. I'm going to ask you a series of questions, Aces.
Ooh.
And you are going to answer me truthfully. No. Did you address the challenge with deception and influence at all during this session?
No.
No. Fair enough. Did you express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background at all during this session?
Yes, I definitely think I brought some of my
Then-
background in.
Give yourself a check on your playbook XP if you would not mind, sir.
Woo. Yep, one check.
And have you struggled with issues from your vice or traumas during this session?
No, I don't think I have.
And then that will be it. And that will conclude Aces. Tomer,
Yes.
let me just go through a similar process with you. Have you addressed a challenge with tracking or violence?
Well, I have to say, as a hound, this is the first time I've used tracking.
You
So
did.
I am
Give yourself
very
a
happy to
tick
say,
on your...
finally, I did one of my class skills that I'm.
Did you
very
do it more
strong
than
at.
once?
No.
Okay, so give yourself a tick on the old playbook XP. Did you express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background during this session?
Profusely and constantly.
Yes, I think it certainly occurred more than once in my eyes. What do you think?
I think it was part of the same global theme.
Hey,
so.
look, stop that now.
Ugh.
So you think you only did it once? Is that what you're saying?
No, I've done it plenty of
You
times.
did it, so take two. There's 2 ticks then. And you filled that up, which means you now get to choose another special ability from your playbook.
Okay. This is going to be fun.
Yeah. And did you struggle with issues from your vice or trauma before you go any further?
No, not this
Nope.
time. No.
Okay. So, you get to choose yourself another special ability from the list of Hound special abilities.
Okay.
While you're doing that, I shall go on to Oscar,
Yes.
and I shall ask Oscar, did you address a challenge with violence or coercion during this session?
Not this session. No.
Okay. Did you express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background at all during this session?
No.
You're going to say no? And did you struggle with any issues from your vice or traumas during this session?
No. Didn't do
That's-
any of that.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's early days for Oscar. We'll get there. Get there. Aggie. Did you address anything with any actions with a violence or coercion? Address the challenge, sorry, with violence or coercion during this session?
Muted.
Me too.
No, I don't think I tried to be violent or coercive. I tried to be completely the opposite, probably.
All right. Did you express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background at all during this session?
Yes.
More than
Plenty.
once? Okay.
Well, I did a couple of times seeing my doll and then telling everybody why and then dressing up in my old
And have
regal clothes.
two ticks in
Two
that
ticks at the
playbook
top,
XP.
yeah. Yeah.
Did you struggle with issues from your vice or traumas during this session?
My vice is luxury, isn't it? So did I struggle? What would you say?
Did you struggle with it?
And I don't think I struggled with it. I wanted to nick it and walk out with it, and he wouldn't let me
Yeah.
hold it.
Yes. Okay, let's.
But no, probably
All right.
not.
Okay, we'll go with that then. What about the crew? Do we get to do the crew?
Do you do when you don't have a score?
I don't blame. No, we don't.
It says at the end of every session, not at the end of a score.
Does it? At the end of each session? That's a good point. Did you execute a successful battle, extortion, sabotage, or smash and grab operation?
No.
Did you contend with challenges above your current station?
No.
Did you bolster your crew's reputation or develop a new one?
Well, yeah, second rate.
Yeah, we have developed a new reputation.
Did you bolster that? I don't
We
know.
recruited somebody, and that's, probably bolsters our reputation.
Give yourself a tick.
Yeah. I like doing this at the end of the night because he's had too much rum, so he just gives it away.
No, I can't say. You have to. You tell me, and I have to go. Well, yeah, all right then.
Has somebody given it a tick on the crew? Who's doing the crew page?
Did somebody do it, or shall I do it?
No, I didn't do it.
Here, crew XP, I got it.
There you go.
Okay,
Boom.
Thank you.
nice.
Nice.
Okay, and finally, did you express the goals, drives, inner conflict, or essential nature of the crew?
I would say we have expressed 3 goals. That they are our current goals. So we have expressed the goals of the crew right now.
I mean,
They're individual goals, really, though, aren't
You would
they?
know it's the crew goals.
Don't you think that you have expressed the inner conflict in your crew
Yes,
at all?
of
Of course, I've been blackmailed by Aggie.
Yes, definitely.
So I'm going to say,
I'm putting a
say-
tick for Aggie blackmailing me.
that's 2. 2 ticks.
We get
for Aggie
two
Blackpool
more
and
ticks.
4 and
Nice.
all the other bits. Yeah.
One left.
And that's it. We're gonna jump out right here and say thanks very much everybody for watching, and we'll catch you next week